Oh, these motherfuckers drunk out here. So one question was like, if I wasn't cutting hair, what would I be doing? I already know I wouldn't be working for anybody, because how I kind of got into barbering in the first place was because I just couldn't work for anybody. Like, I had a couple jobs. I worked valet, actually. I was late like a lot to work, and I hated going to work. And I was like, it wasn't even like I wanted to go back home and cut hair, honestly. Like, I just did not like working for somebody. I remember counting up the money like we made one night for like the River Cats, and then I got my paycheck, my 2 weekly paycheck. I'm like, damn, this ain't shit compared to what they making. Like, I don't want to work for somebody else making that money. I'm getting shit. What's my race? I'm Mexican and English. My mom was actually born in England, like a little ways away from Stonehenge, I believe, and we actually just went there for the first time like this past summer. I think everybody kind of is like stumped by what my ethnicity is. I always get that question a lot. How old am I? I'm actually just 24, but you know. How do you keep your beard healthy? You gotta eat the booty like some groceries. Like, seriously, you gotta eat ass. What is good, y'all? It is your boy Deluxe back here again. My apologies for being MIA last week on YouTube, but I came back with a hitter. My boy Cuts by Watts came down and allowed me to bless his hair. If you're not already following my boy on Instagram, he's an up-and-coming barber in Oregon from the Sacramento area, but he goes he graduated school last year, so he came back. It's like a little holiday. He went to go see J. Cole when J. Cole was in town, so he knew he had to slide through for a cut. So to begin with, he just wanted some simple tapers with a beard. Now, of course, with his hair being all long and luscious as shit, it's gonna be a little bit more difficult than just a simple taper. So first, I'm gonna make sure all that hair lays down. I'm gonna take it down with those Wall Senior cordless seniors with a 1.5 guard. Make sure all the hair still stays dark. I don't want to take it too short to make it look like he doesn't have any hair on the side of his head. And then with the tapers, we talked about it before. He wanted the high taper. He didn't want to have that hook in there, but he didn't want to have that blend go all the way up to the top to where, you know, you can't see the darkness still. He still wanted to be able to see the bar. He still wanted to see everything. I told him like a high-low taper, or it's a high taper, but it's low and condensed. He's like, yep, let's go with that one. That's the one right there. So this taper it's a high taper because it doesn't have the hooks in it, of course, but you're not going to see it go all the way upside the head. You're going to see the blend be very nice, sharp and short on that sideburn area. And really all I do is, I mean, I know I'm kind of talking over my steps, but of course you make your guideline, make that first bald guideline with the trimmers open, lever play it all the way out, make sure that blends out, and then after you get that first guideline in, all I'm doing right now is working my way down. So I believe I started out even with a 4 guard open, just to knock off barely any hair, to kind of get a nice transition, and I just work my way down gradually. Now, I think I've done this in a previous video as well before. This is not how I usually fade, but when I'm fading all the way down, you know, at first go around, it's not going to be perfect. It's not going to have all like the sharpness to it. So you are going to see me go back through the cut later on, and kind of fix that up. Moving on to the back taper again, with stuff like this where you have a client that has like a lot of hair, you don't have a whole lot of room to work with, so you're gonna have to make sure you condense things down even shorter into smaller guidelines, damn near. I know when I started out cutting hair, I had a lot of difficulty trying to do cuts like this, because like I wanted to stretch out the blend. I was more of a guy who liked to stretch his blend out to make sure that thing just looked barred up as shit. But with cuts like this, you kind of have to adapt the blend to their head and as well as their hair style too. So with his hairstyle, everything has to be shortened and condensed down. Of course, I get that regular balding guideline in there, and then like I said before, I work from a 4 all the way down to a 1 guard, and then kind of pick it out with the 0 guard. You are going to see me go back through it with some corner techniques. I wasn't happy with the way it came out at first, but by the end of the cut, it was barred up, and you know, me and my boy were talking too much. You know, we got to talking, and you know, when you're talking, you're not fully immersed in your cut, so you know, I had to go back and fix it up later on. But moving on to the beard after we taper him out, I take this is the hot pick. I know I get a lot of questions asked on my Instagram. I wish I could give you guys a link. I'll try and find a link. Maybe it's on Amazon or something, but it's called the Hot Pick 2.0. I got it at the Warner Brothers Atlanta Hair Show last year. I love this thing because any beard that's real tangled up, or maybe they didn't comb out their beard before, it's a hot pick, so it heats up and it detangles all that hair and kind of straightens it out and gives the beard a more fuller look, as well as it helps you to kind of shape up. I know when we shape, and this is also what he wanted too, was a little nice shape up on the beard. So it allows me to pick out all the hairs to expose everything and give him that true natural shape, so when he goes home and kind of combs it out, he's not kind of surprised that it's a different shape than what he left with. Going through the beard, of course, I tapered it in, kept it up as high as possible. He wanted to make sure that he kept the beard as thick and dark as possible all the way around. So with these lines, I'm not gonna push down his beard. I'm not gonna go too sharp in it at first. I'm really like with the trimmers, when somebody wants to keep it as full and natural as possible, you can see like he's telling me like before he had pushed it down a little bit, so just keep it high. But like with the trimmers, I'm just barely tapping that line, and I'll really go into more detail work with my razor afterwards. With bigger beards, I just feel more comfortable doing that, because I feel like with the razor, you can take off a lot of hair, but you still got to sharpen that thing up with the razor. So you're still going to be taking off even more hair. So if I just kind of get a nice little outline at first with the trimmers, I can really go in with the detail work on the razor. Of course, I do it all the way around the back side of the neck, the mustache and all that, pulling the skin in the opposite direction too. And you always want to make sure that you apply a shave gel before. I think I didn't show it in here, but I use the exotic shave gel. It's one of my more favorite ones, just due to the fact that it doesn't really clump up on your client, and even when you wipe it off, it still keeps that skin really hydrated, so you're not going to get a lot of razor burn. I know a lot of barbers have problems with razor burn, always ask why do I go over my beard lineups at least like 4 or 5 times. They always ask, how do you not have your clients have razor burn? Well, you just gotta use the right products to avoid that problem. And then it's literally just rinse and repeat on the other side, making sure everything just stays as natural as possible. Also, for the barbers that are watching, I'm going to be creating a nice instructional video on how I go about creating a viral Instagram post. The one I'm going to be going over is the one that you see right now, of my Indian homie with the curls. Not only am I going to be going over what I did in this video which made it go viral, but I'm also going to break down what you need to do to your videos to ensure that you create more engagement for your content, so you can see continued growth on your profile. I want to go ahead and send this to you for free. I'll put that link down below in the description, so if you want to be a part of that group, go ahead and click the link down below. Again, with that mustache, always want to kind of make sure I get a good carving around that, even the side lip. I know a lot of people, especially myself, when our beards get a little lengthy, we haven't trimmed up in a while, that hair right next to that side part of the lip likes to curl in a lot. So whenever you're kind of doing beards, he didn't really have a whole lot of hair right there for me to show a description of it, but I like to comb it out into the mouth at first, into the direction of the mouth, and then take all that hair down, because that shit just gets annoying when you got a big ass beard, honestly, bro. Here's a good angle where you can see, like, I'm just keeping it as natural as possible, not going in too hard at first with the trimmers, and then go ahead and applying the shave gel, and then you're gonna go ahead and see me with that is my Barber Sign Productions razor blade holder that I go ahead and use. Also, I prefer to use like an exposed blade. Well, it's not an exposed blade, but I like to expose my blade when I'm working with the straight razor blade, just because I like to see what I'm doing. I feel like I have more control over it. I feel like I like to live life on the edge a little bit too, so it adds like a little extra element to that, like it's a little bit of a safety precaution taken off. But I just like the way it cuts. I can see what I'm doing with it. Definitely something I would recommend doing if you have a little bit more experience with the straight razor blade. Moving on to the hairline, of course, first I go ahead and brush the hairline down. I did take it down again, went over it with the 1.5 guard before. I went ahead and lined it up just to make sure all those hairs are taken down to the length that I needed to. And then with somebody like his hairline, I am going to be combing out a lot. You're going to see me just working that comb in there, making sure that all the hairs that might be kind of hiding up in his hairline just get exposed, and I cut those down. And what I've been doing recently, like I said, I always go back to the tapers again to clean it up, is after I set in my lineup usually, or set in one side of the lineup, I can kind of get a better idea of like how that fade or how that transition is supposed to look on the head. I don't know why all of a sudden I'm kind of seeing that now in my fades, or now when I'm cutting, I just have a better idea of like it's not supposed to look like that, like especially with the line, how it's looking. It just looks better proportioned on the head if the fade with the transition was looking like this. I know some people, they like to do the lineup even before the haircut, like before they even start like fading. That's always an option. It doesn't matter how you know your steps you go through, as long as you get the result that your client wants. I mean, you can do whatever the hell you need to do. Then just going on to the beard shape up right here, I am just gonna comb out everything, and he didn't want to take it down too much. He just wanted all those kind of stray hairs to be more form-fitting to the shape of his beard. So when I'm doing this, of course I'm using my trimmers at first. I go through it one time, comb it out again to expose more hairs, and then I just follow the shape. I don't go in and really try to create a shape. I mean, his beard already has like a very nice shape to his facial structure, so I try to just mimic that, stay true to that, and then afterwards I always go over with my shears, just to kind of have a little bit more control. Sometimes when you're using the clippers, it pushes around the hair instead of really cuts it, so I always feel like just finishing it off with the shears is always the best, especially underneath the neck too. Come on, there, yep, there you go, right there. Just going ahead and cutting down everything that I see. My dude looking like Fabio with all that hair tied up, I swear to God. Watts, I swear you better never cut that hair, bro. You better get a braid or something next time when you stop by, I swear. By the way, like I said before, if you're not following Cuts by Watts on Instagram, I'll throw that thing up there right now so you guys can go ahead and see that. Also, I know I've been terrible at like promoting myself at times, so if you guys are not already following me on Instagram, go ahead, follow me on Instagram right now. It is at deluxe_, same thing as my YouTube channel name. You can go ahead and find me there. The link is down below. Also, Watts is coming out with the YouTube channel soon. Like I said, this dude is killing it with the cuts. I don't know why he's taking so long with creating a YouTube channel. So I'm like, bro, you better just start working on that shit right now, bro. Like, stop slacking. Watts, if you listen to this and you haven't done that shit, you better get your shit ready, because I swear to God, bro, this boy needs to get on YouTube. But I'll put his link for his Instagram down below as well for everybody that wants to check out his work. Again, I just applied hair fibers, then went over it, made sure everything was all nice and in place, and then you know, I had still a couple more spots I wanted to go ahead and fix up with my Andis Fade Master. So I always like to clean up with my Andis Fade Masters right now. I just like the feeling of the picking action. You know, the guards are just a little bit more sharper to go in and kind of shade out, I guess. I don't want to say shade in, because we're not shading in hair, we're shading out hair. We're creating less of a shade. But whatever the hell you want to say, I like to do that with the Andis Fade Masters. Those are always the go-tos. Those will always stick around no matter what other clipper I move on to. And then just details, man, just always trying to perfect the haircut, and you see that line's all nice and sharp. My boy's all happy, like, okay, I'm about to see J. Cole tonight at concert with Young Thug. I got the fresh cut. And then of course gotta get him on the Instagram video right there too. Still just going over that beard, making sure everything's all nice and in place. Also, I do add spritz afterwards, after I do apply hair fibers, either a spritz or a hairspray, wherever I apply hair fibers to, just to ensure that they kind of stick onto the head and stay there and they don't blow off. It doesn't ensure they're going to stay on through, you know, after they take a shower, but they will hold a little bit longer than what they would without it, for sure, so it definitely helps. And then of course just making sure my boy's neckline is all clean. Whenever you're doing beards, make sure the neck is always clean. I know those hairs are always like tough and irritating to do. I never like doing it, but your client definitely takes notice when he leaves, especially with that underneath lineup too. Always make sure that you're taking down the hairs the correct way. Though you don't want to give your client like any ingrown hairs if you take it down too short, or kind of cut his neck up too much if your blades are too sharp. And then of course, you know, you gotta dust him off. You know, you're looking like $1,000,000 right now. Gotta dust my boy off. And then that's the end of the tutorial. He got money on the phone. So hello, yeah. Don't worry, I got the cut. You got the shit. You got the money. All right, cool. I'll bring it. I'll slide through. And then that's the end of the cut right there. So don't forget, follow my boy Cuts by Watts. His YouTube channel is dropping soon. Don't forget to follow me on Instagram as well at deluxe_. I will be at the Las Vegas Barber Expo next week. What is it? We in September, October, September 29th or September 30th, whatever the hell that is. I will be there. Come say what's up to your boy. We'll have some drinks, go wild. Vegas. I don't know what the hell's gonna happen. All bets are off. I will see y'all there. I'm gonna still push out a YouTube video on that Sunday though, so stay tuned, y'all. Other than that, thank you guys for watching. Don't forget to follow my boy and your boy as well. And other than that, I will see you guys next week. We out.